guys! It's been a while. I know, I'm sorry. I finished Cassandra Clare's fourth book in the Mortal Instruments series, The City of Fallen Angels. I finished that the day it came out, but I was waiting for Kaisa and Amelie to finish reading it so we could all do a joint review. Doing The City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare.
In this installment of the Mortal Instruments, Clary is being trained to be a shadow hunter while Jace is having bloody and violent dreams about her. Simon is being stalked by people who want him dead, but why? By whose order? A new character gets introduced and he is not what he seems. Shadow hunters are being murdered one by one, and the key to figuring out why lies in their past, something they thought was already over. Bom bom bom.
This book was awesome! Basically, I couldn't put it down. We get a lot more Simon in it, we get a lot more Clary in it, and Jace action. Lots of Clary and Jace action, actually.
I only have this thing here left because I already had to give the book to a friend because she had to read it.
This book was brilliant. It was definitely a worthy start of a new Mortal Instruments trilogy.
I always felt like Cassie Clare ended with City of Glass like so well, and I wasn't expecting another one of these books, at least with Clary and everyone in it, and I was surprised to find that it actually worked as a fourth book.
Did I think that it was a bad idea to write a fourth book when I heard about Cassandra Clare writing a fourth book? No, I actually didn't. And do I think that it was wrong to do it now? Hell no!
Cassandra Clare knows how to write a sequel. I'm just gonna say, a lot of authors these days seem to write sequels, just because she always has a purpose, always is developing a new storyline, always is developing the characters, which I think is extremely important. Clary is a completely different person than she was in the first book. She's braver, she's stronger, she's come into her own in her own sort of way, and I think it's brilliant that she's able to do that. Even Simon as a character has developed so much.
My favorite part of this book has got to be Simon. I mean, I've never been a huge fan of Simon, but I feel like now he's really growing into a fascinating character. If you've gotten this far into the series, I doubt I have to tell you that the writing and the pacing and everything was just great. I mean, we all worship Cassandra Clare at this point. So why did we have to read Clockwork Angel before we read this book?
I think is that you really should read Clockwork Angel before you read City of Fallen Angels, because there are a lot of hints to that book. And somehow, the whole time, every time that Will is mentioned in this book, it sounded like Will and Magnus had an affair, but they don't in Clockwork Angel. So, I wondered, is it going to happen in Clockwork Prince?
No, I don't think you had to read Clockwork Angel before you read this book, but I think if you did, you're now just more excited to read the rest of the prequel series. So, you know, that's a really smart thing to do, Cassandra Clare. You know, weaving the two together so that people have to read all of your books. I mean, I don't have anything against it. You know, I love reading your books, but you're a genius.
In the beginning of the book, you get to see very little of Alec and Magnus because they are on this kind of trip, and I kind of missed those two. I wouldn't have thought so, but I did. But that is the only thing that's bad about this book.
Of course, Cassie Clare leaves us with a huge, terrible cliffhanger at the end, and I was just like...
The cliffhanger! It is a cliffhanger!
My favorite book in the Mortal Instruments series is still City of Glass, but City of Fallen Angels is definitely not something that you want to miss. It's got it all. It's got action, drama, romance, and a killer ending. Just trust me.